अभी मैं हमारे यहाँ हमारी मस्जिद में एक भाई हैं उनसे मुलाकात होती रहती so he had some issues and he was talking about like his financial issues and some challenges that he's going through and I was just asking him and trying to explain to him something. I said, like, brother, when did you stop adding value to yourself? And he didn't understand. It's because he was thinking about his job. And I was just telling him, कि देखो, you started your education at some point in your life. You studied and you acquired a certain degree. You get to a certain point where you started earning money. And when you started earning, you were not married, you did not have children, you didn't, that whatever money you was earning, it was enough for you. And then you had some savings and then you got married and then you have children. Now, even though your salary increased a bit, but your expenses increased a lot more than that. Now, my question is, you get to this point, you are at this point in your life. What value have you added to yourself that, let's say you are a $10,000 a month employee, what value have you added to yourself that you become a $20,000 or a $50,000 a month employee? Have you added? Because the world doesn't pay you for the old thing. And I was just giving an example. Okay, let's suppose you want to buy a car and somebody's selling an old car and they ask for, say, $3,000. And you say this car is not worth $3,000. This is like worth 2,000. You wouldn't want to pay 3,000 because it's an old car and it doesn't have that value. But let's suppose the person who's selling that old car tells you, I've changed the tires, I've changed it's like the air conditioning, and there is a new stereo system, and there is new GPS in this, and there is all of these upgrades in that. And you realize now it has more value added to it. Now it's more valuable, so you will not have problem paying 3,000 when you realize it has more value. The world pays you for the value that you have added to yourself. Your traditional education brings you to a certain point, but if you still stay there and don't add more value to yourself, the world doesn't value you. So value addition is the key. But being passive and not adding value to yourself will diminish your value. Do you understand? You have to make sure that you're adding value to yourself. And how do you do that? You do that by learning new things. You do that by practicing what you are learning. You do that by learning new things every, more and more frequently. Every new day you learn something. You do that by reading. You do that by associating with right kind of people, whichever field you may be in. You develop yourself the more, and this is how you grow rich. The more problems you can solve for people, the more you will be getting paid. That's how it works. So अपने अपने अंदर कॉन्स्टेंटली वैल्यू एडिशन कीजिए. देखिए, पाकिस्तान भी जब लोहा बेचता है, सो लेट सपोज पाकिस्तान लोहा बेचता है $50,000 टन, और जापान भी लोहा बेचता है, अगर जापान बेचता है $5,000 टन. ये $50,000, वो $5,000. फर्क क्या है? जापान ने उस लोहे को लेकर उसकी कोई मशीनरी बना दी, उस लोहे को लेकर उससे कोई गाड़ी बना दी, उस लोहे को लेकर उससे कोई जहाज बना दिया, उस लोहे को लेकर उससे कोई किसी किस्म का कोई इक्विपमेंट. तो उसने क्या किया? उस लोहे के अंदर वैल्यू एड की. उस वैल्यू एडिशन के प्राइस होते हैं. आप सोना लेने जाते हैं तो सोने की जो बार होता है उसकी एक प्राइस होती है, लेकिन अगर आप उसकी कोई ज्वेलरी बनवाते हैं, उस ज्वेलरी की कीमत ज्यादा है कि जी ये सुनार की बनवाई है. वो जो बनवाई है, दैट्स वैल्यू एडिशन. सवाल ये है कि हम अपने अंदर क्या वैल्यू ऐड कर रहे हैं. तो हम जिस मार्केट को सर्व कर रहे हैं, हम जिस प्रोफेशन से ताल्लुक रखते हैं, हम जिस किस्म की भी अपनी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, हमने अपने अंदर क्या वैल्यू एडिशन की है. और वो वैल्यू एडिशन लर्निंग से आती है. उस लर्निंग के लिए हमें कुछ करना होता है. उस लर्निंग के लिए हमें किताबें पढ़नी होती हैं, उस लर्निंग के लिए हमें कोर्सेज करने होते हैं, और जो चीज़ें हमने पढ़ी हैं या सीखी हैं उनको कंसिस्टेंटली अप्लाई करना होता है. दैट्स हाउ वी ऐड वैल्यू टू आवरसेल्व्स. Okay, so value addition is something very important.